Today, the Council of AR would like to talk about love, about the feeling of love between two beings. So let's see what they have to say. Human beings finally, at one point in their lives, open their hearts to love one another. This interaction starts at puberty, when the hormones start to kick in. And those are the first loves for a human being's life, the first enticing feelings towards another being. And it is test grounding what it can be like to feel the love, unusual feelings of love towards another being. So those feelings start by being very enticing, fiery-like, the kind of feelings that you start wondering in your brain about the other person non-stop. So those are the first openings, and those are helped by hormones. And life goes by, and human beings have various experiences of this kind of attraction towards each other. The contracts, the soul journeys, the blueprints have a way to influence these human beings towards being attracted to another being, having special encounters that mean something with another being. And those encounters are stuck somehow in the brain as an image. What was that all about? Why did I feel something for another human being? And of course, there's destiny. There's randomness of encountering a being that you have an attraction towards, that you feel connected in somehow, through words, through laughter, through physical attunements. But remember that your soul is always actively embarking on the life journey, the blueprint, the soul journey, the contracts. So the soul has parameters also of let's not go there or let's go there. This is a green light, this is a red light. So the soul interacts with the brain of the human being, with the telepathy of the human being, with all the feelings and the essence of that being that is in a vessel, in a human body. So the soul will manage to create likes and dislikes that the human being integrated in a vessel with a body, with a face, with a body, with arms and legs and a heart, a beating heart. The soul will interact with all those cells. And the soul will instigate the human being to move forward or to take a different direction. So this is kind of intricate. So what we want to explain is that one of the major accomplishments of a soul is to feel a need for love and to ultimately feel what it feels like to love. So this love feeling excites the entire cells. The hormones are activated. The person feels a greater potential, feels alive. And what happens is that the human being attracted to you, let's say, and you are attracted to them, to that person basically is the catalyst for you to feel those feelings of love, of intensity, of full potential in your body. So you want more of that other person. But what you're really wanting is more of that feeling of completion, of opening up to bigger and higher potentials for your soul. Because you realize that when you feel in love, that you are a better human being, that you are in itself more open, that you are more alive. So you're trying to catch that aliveness and to package it, to hold it, to keep it happening in your heart. And that other being is the catalyst for that. Of course, there is the attraction. Of course, there is the chemistry. Of course, there is wonderful, wonderful interaction between two human beings of love, of sexual attraction. The sexual attraction is so important because the sexual attraction is a frequency that emanates from these two beings, from these two bodies. And that frequency, when it is the right frequency, when it can merge together and create one energy, one frequency of energy, a powerful energy, then that will be a bigger catalyst even to feel more alive and to feel more love. And the universe is receptive to that frequency, to that energy. So all the cells are activating themselves to the entire universe. There is not a moment more powerful than a human orgasm that, of course, creates life, but that also creates that tension, that energy that explodes into the universe. And the human body, the human body is made for that. And there's reason. So the chemistry between two people, when the love and the physical sexual chemistry merges together and creates an alliance, creates a bond, creates an interaction of energy from one being to the other. So the sexual energy, when it is mature enough when the beings are mature enough to take that sexual energy, merge it together to create more energy, that is beautiful. And that in itself heals. That frequency is a healing frequency. A very powerful healing frequency. So the chemistry, the intellectual chemistry, the heartfelt energy merging together, when there's that chemistry between two people, and it is the right chemistry, and it is easy to achieve, that is a match made in heaven. And that is available on planet Earth for all human beings. So you might be so lucky to encounter that in your life because it is available. We know that most of you want this. Your questions right now are all flickering and we hear them. How do we find that person? How do we enjoy that energy without creating dismemberment of that energy through the brains that are contradicting each other, because it is such a powerful creation that the brain of the human being encounters all its darkness as well as its light. At that very moment when the intimacy between two human beings becomes the natural, overwhelming power of the bursting of energy in the highest form of love, of connection, of potential, then the small self inhabiting the brain starts saying, no, 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 this is dangerous. No, 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 do not allow. And then the confusion comes and starts dismembering the entire process. So each other, you're acting as a mirror. to the shadow work of each other. So how can we help you ease in that situation? How can we explain to you that the brain is very effective for certain things in your life? As work, if you're a translator, you must engage your brain to be able to go in that flow and translate words from one language to another automatically. So the brain is fully active there, and there's a focus. But when the feeling of overwhelming energy, of passion, of well-being emerges, and it is what you call the tantric energy between two human beings, there can be a fusion of energy that is a love bomb in itself. It is the universal, orgasmic, creative interaction that human beings have the potential to access. So when you are with the right match made in heaven, allow yourself to disconnect from your personality. Allow yourself to go so deep into experiencing that unknown universe and noticing that you are in a trance, that you have virtually crossed the realm that you normally live in, and that you are in an altered state of consciousness, allowing that energy to pulsate and to extend, and allowing yourself to go there and to stay there after the lovemaking, to stay in that frequency, because healing is activated. The human being's soul comes in a vessel to learn about love, to learn about self-love, and to learn about unconditional love, and to experience it, to feel it. So it is not an intellectual study. It is a study for the heart to feel, for the body to feel, for the soul to merge with the body, the soul, the spirit, everything merged in this vessel, and to feel that connection, that amplitude, that potential of greatness, of great power, of greatness. But that greatness is love. It is not anything else. Because in the universe, the power of creation is creating everything through that exact same love. So the word love is small, is meaningless compared to what it really is. It is a real transcendental fusion of energy that is so powerful it can heal you. It can make you a better human being. So to allow yourself to have that experience. So if you want to encounter the soulmate, as you call them, the twin soul, the perfect match, the match made in heaven for you to experience this creative union, the first thing you must do is consciously allow it in your field, not have contradictions about it, to consciously allow it, to consciously say, I am available to experience this high. I am available to experience this because I know that it will be for my highest, greatest good. So the first thing is to allow it, to open that window of allowance. so that the opportunities can come. Then the second thing is to prepare yourself for becoming a receiver, a giver and a receiver. Because you need to prepare yourself to clean your house, not literally your house. To clean your house meaning to spring clean everything in your house, in your inner home, so that you deal with your traumas, you deal with your childhood. You don't expect the love of your life to come in your life to solve your childhood traumas. You don't expect anything from them. You expect to do it by yourself, to really prepare yourself so that your canvas can be clean, so that you can become a receiver and a giver in equal parts. So preparation, allowance, and making sure that there is not any contradictions in your life. Like, I love my life as a single person, but I want to be married. So that's a contradiction. I need a lot of time to discover who I am, but I really do want to find that soulmate. So a contradiction, because one thing can be done at a time. It's all about timing. When you are at a point in your life where you need to discover who you are, know thyself, give that the opportunity to flourish. Know thyself. What does it mean? Know who you are, who you came to be. What is the contract that you wanted to achieve? What are the experiences that you needed as a soul to embark on and to experience? So figure that one almost first, so that you know yourself, you know your needs, you know what you need, you know what you're willing to give. So you don't offer more than you can give, so you don't create false expectations in the other person. So know thyself. But then also allow yourself this experience. Because if you start putting so many dilemmas of discerning how much you're willing to give, then you will not be able to have this full experience. Understand that you can do both at the same time. Once you have reached clarity, nobody is trying to make you a different human being. I think if you realize that each human being is thinking for themselves, where is my happiness? Where do I go? Where is my happiness? What is my life for? So honest human beings can honestly tell each other, we're not trying to eat one another and dismiss the other person. No. Human beings have very clear, especially after a certain age, maybe in your 30s it starts, that you are an individual being and that your feelings are felt by yourself, not by, your partner. So you have a full understanding that this body has a soul, has a spirit inside the body that has feelings, that has mental talents and abilities, that has all kinds of potential. So don't be afraid to live your life and allow yourself to feel this, what you call fall in love. So we're talking about a love with another human being that heals, that helps the other person find their full potential. We're not talking about toxic relationships that are based only on convenience or other things, because those are fine. They exist too, and they have their place. But we're not talking about those relationships. We're talking about what is it to fall in love? What is it? we're trying to dissect it for you so that you understand that when you fall in love with another human being, you're actually activating a new potential in yourself that you love how it feels, so you want more of it. And it happens to be through the catalyst of another human being that is a good match. Because when we say good match, it means that energetically that other human being has the correct energy and pieces and components that match well with yours. So that is to be compatible. And when you find that compatibility in each other, do not destroy it, because it is hard to find it. As you have noticed, it is not easy to have another human being be compatible with your energy. So when you find it, treasure it, and understand that it is the experience that is given to you to go fully into your heart and to experience that openness, that opening of your heart chakra, of your heart potential, of that immense energy that your heart can connect to the whole entire universe, not just to that person. And that energy is so powerful that it can heal you. It is that powerful. It can heal you. It makes you more beautiful even on the outside. It makes you more attractive because it is working on your energy field, on the frequency that your body is emanating towards the exterior, from the heart towards the exterior, as a vibration, as a ripple effect. So that is beautiful and worth experiencing. You can say that you can experience it through meditation, which is correct. You can experience that expansion through many ways. But the human bodies, the human beings were created to experience it together as two warm bodies that give each other, that complement each other, that can be mesmerized by each other's beauty in a laughter or in a conversation or in a hug or just simply walking down the street together. So that energy is a vibration that starts from the heart of that human being and vibrates as a ripple effect towards the exterior, creating more beauty, more awareness, more consciousness, more connection to the entire field of the universe. And that can be done through another human being, with the connection of another human being, because these two beings amplify each other, that vibration. So if you do it alone, and of course we want you to know how to love yourself, so important to understand what self-love is. But you are here on planet Earth having a human experience on planet Earth. That was something that you chose to do. So one of the components of being a human being on planet Earth is to find and experience this exquisite vibration of the divine within yourselves, together with another human being. And when we say it is exquisite, we mean it. If you haven't felt that exquisite vibration yet, it probably means that you haven't found your match made in heaven. And if you're willing to find it, then allow it. Ask for it and allow it. And if it is not something that you are meant to experience in this incarnation, that is okay too, because each incarnation you are taking different classes, different courses in the University of Planet Earth, in Earth School as we call it. So you're not all going to be taking the same courses, correct? So there is not every human being needing to find this connection. But if you yearn for it deeply in your heart, if you have felt a deep, sincere, true longing for it, it probably means that you are meant to experience it. And it is never too late. The age does not matter, because it is a vibration, and it is the frequency of two vibrations of two beings that unite together. So there's no age in that. It can be the first love, and it can be the last years of your life. But we encourage you that if you have that fervor, that longing, to ask for it to the universe, to pray for it, and then to allow it. And before you expect to receive it, to do a little bit of spring cleaning in your own field about your traumas, your sadnesses, whatever you carry in your field that is painful, that is heavy. Because one thing that is sure to destroy that potential is to shove all this untreated traumas into another person's field, expecting them to fix them for you. Because that's not the job of this soulmate. The soulmate comes to give you that experience, and of course to help you through life, and it is both ways. It is to help each other. But the main purpose is for you to experience that immense divine unity of two conscious beings together, and to have that experience of opening the heart in that way, and to allow the experience of the universe to bathe your hearts in pure divine nectar that can transform you, that can heal you, so that you will never look at each other in the same way. And the fights and the discussions will never have the power that they had before that connection, because you will have understood something, that you're only here to experience that divine love, and that together in your lives, you're here to support each other the best you can. But the reason for your union was to help each other and offer to each other the experience of this divine love. Thank you.